Welcome back, guys. Today we'll be talking about Twitter stock. We'll be talking about why Twitter stock fell around 5% today. For the people who don't know, Twitter is one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, especially here in the United States. Our president in the United States uses Twitter a lot to express his opinions on certain things in the past 4 years. So Twitter has grown, I believe, around 110% in those 4 years, and they were a very big company 4 years ago. So now they're even bigger. So Twitter, what they do is that you can tweet something or where you can post live commentary or live messages throughout the world, a public message basically stating what you feel, what you think, and then you can post pictures, retweet, you can reshare, you can like the message, and you can share it with other people as well. So, what makes Twitter so exclusive is that it's basically a messaging platform for everyone to view. And Twitter was here before Instagram and Snapchat. So, we can see that Twitter was a pioneer in the social media sector. Twitter has had on and off years. Twitter's in some years has grown so fast, so much in terms of their revenue and their new subscribers and the share price. But in certain years, they've slumped pretty badly. So it's a pretty volatile stock and a volatile company in my opinion. They have improved things since Jack Dorsey became CEO. Jack Dorsey was one of the main founders for very public companies such as Square. So if we just look at their financials, they have 42 billion market cap. They've had constant revenue increases in the past couple of years, which is a good sign to have. So if you look at their 1 week chart, they're down around 10% when the S&P is up around 4%. So, something is brewing. 3 month chart's still up 7%. 1 year it's up 47%. And the 5 year it's up around 120%. So this used to be, a $10, $15 stock. Now, and it's around 50. So let's talk about recent news which happened with Twitter to make it drop 5 to 6%. We'll be talking about their management team and diving in more into their financials and whether or not I will be buying the stock. So here, as we can see in the CNN business article, it says Twitter bans President Trump permanently. So why is this an issue? One, Trump has caused a lot of Twitter stir. Trump, I believe, has caused a lot of subscribers to join Twitter. He is the sixth biggest following on Twitter. So, some of the connections and some of the flow of traffic through him might be disconnected now because since his account was suspended. His account was suspended because Twitter believed that he basically said risky tweets, which can further insinuate that he's promoting violence. So the thing about this is that it's not a problem that they blocked Trump specifically, but this does set precedent that in the future that Twitter will be censoring even very, very big political leaders, and that becomes a very, very big problem because Facebook had a similar problem in 2017, and the stock price has completely, smashed 20-25% for such a big market cap company. So when you censor tweets, it's very, very difficult to grow because people want to express themselves, and censorship, especially here in the United States, is very, very controversial to say the least. So the tweets he made were this right over here, and then he mentioned how he's not going to attend Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th. So I would say the tweet itself is not a problem. Him getting suspended is not the problem. The problem is that in the future this will come up. I'm 100% sure about this. I think that this sets a context for other social media platforms like Facebook. Actually, Facebook have already banned Donald J. Trump from their platforms, and so are other services like Twitch and Snapchat. So I think this again, and not to beat the bush, but this will set a precedent in the future, and this will come up in Congress, and they'll ask, "How will you do censorship?" And I think Article 230, where they basically said is up to the discretion of the companies. I think that will be revoked, and there will be some sort of censorship by the government. Now let's look at more of their fundamentals and whether or not I will be buying the stock. So we're here on macro trends, identifying financials of Twitter. As you can see, Twitter went public around 2013, 2014, and we have seen, a steady increase in revenue. However, there was a patch here where revenues were stagnant, and they were in a negative phase here and then here during COVID. But I think they are improving slowly by slowly, but no, by no means this is a growth company. So we should look at the PE ratio and make sure it's more reasonable and not, 300, 400. It should be less than 35, less than 30, because we know this is not a growth company. Growth companies, they grow 100%, you know, for the first like 5+ years. Then you have a very good growth company in your hands. But here we see that phase has been fizzled out, and now it's more of a stagnant company. So if we look at the gross profits, it's around the same thing. However, one thing I've noticed is that uh, they had more income and less gross profits here due to COVID. So I guess it's more expenses overall, which is not a problem as long as they keep on growing upwards. I have no problem with this trend. So this earnings per share also looks pretty decent, but however, we do see another decline, which is not very good. I guess their taxes and amortization is really, really kicking in. So will I be buying the stock? To be honest, at current prices, I won't be buying the stock. However, if I do see a decline, I know a lot of good investors invest in the stock like Mark Cuban. If it does go around the 35 level, I will be investing in the stock. I do own Snapchat and Facebook, so I'm not very very pushy towards Twitter. So if it drops 20% more, or there's some other news, I'll probably grab some shares. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good day.